Do you perhaps have an example of a merchant who went from manual B2B to more automated workflows and what just changed for them?
Yeah, there's a really good one. So nutrition factory, so like health supplements, which is again quite a big industry for us. And as you can imagine, it's from a SKU perspective, there's thousands of different options and there's different ways in which people could potentially order that. So manually processing B2B orders, this is like the classic story here. Sometimes it's over 1,000 line items. So again, big risk there of potential human error, something gets missed. And again, it's massive revenue streams for the business. So implementing Spark, they were able to automate a lot of the processes. So the big thing they said with the feedback we got, which is, I think we've got a case study, so if anyone's interested, we can definitely share that afterwards. But the B2C buying experience was at the essence of what they wanted. The results were massive, so 900% increase in B2B revenue, and 100% and 175% reduction in manual tasks, which is massive. Now, the big thing for them, which sounds really, really simple, was the ability just for their merchants to be able to log in and upload a CSV file, like a dump of an Excel spreadsheet of what they wanted into an order, and within 3 clicks it's processed. So as simple as that sounds, they weren't able to sort of offer that to their client base. So that alone was fantastic, and then on top of that, all the extra features that we were able to sort of support them with, saw a huge increase in their sort of revenue increase. So yeah, that's definitely a big happy customer in an industry that we particularly do well in. But you can imagine how that can be replicated across all different types of industry verticals as well.
So, what trends are you seeing in Shopify B2B right now? Is there anything that merchants should prepare for over the next year?
Yeah, I think like the globalization of wholesale, I think is massive. Like expanding into new territories is what any business wants to do. Like again, we touch on the replication of D2C buying experience and what that looks like. When you're looking at new internet globalized markets, how do you do that? How are you going to infiltrate new markets? There's nothing better than building up a really successful brand and then other people want to buy that from a wholesale perspective to then redistribute. So that's something I think people should definitely lean into. If you've got that really good story, if you've got that really good product, coming back to the company I mentioned, that industry in particular is great in terms of brand loyalty, and then obviously having the ability to sell in markets you weren't actually expecting. Again, I know I keep repeating myself in terms of that replicating the B2C expectations, but it is massive, and I think the more people do that and the more people understand that that is the model really B2B should go down. It's obviously that simplicity, again another word I keep saying, but it's leaning into what has worked. We saw that huge spike in e-commerce over the years, and in terms of the financial ramifications of that, it's amazing. And B2B, my view is that's definitely where it's going. And the more brands that sort of lean into that and lean into the types of processes, they're going to see rapid scaling. And I think that's definitely the trend of how you can infiltrate markets you wouldn't necessarily infiltrate if you just stuck to a D2C model. So I think it's quite exciting. I think the tech stack definitely comes into it, but the trends I'm seeing within sort of B2B now is anything's kind of possible once you've got that brand and you've got that sort of exposure. And AI as well. Sorry, I was going to say AI part of that. Yeah, again, we could probably do another webinar just on that. But the impact that AI can have for wholesale and B2B is really exciting too. So there's so many cool things out there, and I just think the rapid ability to scale internationally is going to be huge.
Huge, definitely. And AI and automation, they go hand in hand. And so once the storefront side is just, running smoothly, where do things still break on the finance and accounting side?
This is a really good point, because I think if you take Sparkler, for instance, and look at us, what we are, we're a buying platform primarily. So we take over that user experience from wholesale. And as I've said, we simplify things, we make it a lot easier. The problem lies, I guess, in terms of once that order is placed, where is that data? And if you haven't got that, really good or sleek tech stack in terms of a back-end ERP, something like Cinder that's sort of managing things from a finance perspective, and then Sparkler helping push those orders through, where is all that data? It's in different places. Come back to visibility. It's great that your wholesalers now have this amazing shiny platform where they can process those orders, but you're now chasing invoices, not knowing the status of payments. That needs to be streamlined, that needs to be synced. And I think that's hugely important. I think, you're fixing one problem, but you've got to be aware that that now as you start to see that order increase, where are those orders going and what does that look like? So transparency is needed for the customers, yes, but also within internally for the business operations, because different departments will start to get involved. It's not just like the sort of mom and pop shops where there's 2 or 3 people working. We're talking at huge scale operations where different departments are now going to start getting involved from that sort of financial perspective. So yeah, transparency and understanding of what what the status of orders and what's going in and out of the business is massively important.